So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mukesh, and I welcome you to this webinar on mBlock5 tool, which is a programming tool and that can be used for programming not only sprites like Scratch, but also the hardware or electronic devices like robots as well. I have with me Patik Shah, my colleague and founder of Pactronics.
Hello.
So let's get started. This is how I have planned my session today. I'm going to start with the introduction to mBlock tool, and then we'll look at how this tool has changed or got updated as compared to its previous version, mBlock3. We'll look at the tool, how the layouts are, and how we can actually create a quick program. Then look at the features, and all these things will go hand in hand with the live demonstration. And at the end, I will open up for discussions. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop me anytime during the presentation, or you can also type your question on the chat window. So before I start, a bit about us. We are a group of engineers and educators. We are quite passionate about not only building things, but also about sharing the knowledge with our customers, with schools and educators. We sell not only the quite popular kit, but also electronic components. So you would have seen Makey, mBot, the robot, Arduino, Raspberry Pi. Many of these would be really familiar with you. And apart from selling those electronic kits, we also supply or offer online courses and provide training, which is mapped with the Australian curriculum. So not only selling the product, but also offering the technical support that is required as a hands-on support for you to start teaching at the classroom, and online courses, which are Australian curriculum mapped. These are all at our offer. And excuse me. We also support you with defining the digital technology curriculum pathway for your school. So feel free to get in touch with us if you need any help or support on that. There has been a latest initiative that we are trying to consolidate all the learning material or tutorials at one site. So that's learn.pactronics.com.au, and I would strongly recommend that have it a go and look at the tutorials available on the website. So how many of you have seen this tool, mBlock? So,
Sorry, do you want to repeat that question?
How many of you have used this tool, mBlock tool, earlier?
Nope.
No. Patricia or Yvette?
Sorry?
I was just trying to check with Patricia and Yvette if they have used this tool before. Looks like no. So this is a mBlock tool, and this is definitely the previous version. So we used to have the mBlock that can be used to program a robot that came from mBlock, the company mBlock. And this was based on Scratch. So as you can see, the layout of the graphical programming blocks, which is very similar to Scratch. But with the latest enhancement in Scratch, that is the new version of Scratch 3, there is also has been an enhancement on mBlock tool. So mBlock 3 has now available as mBlock5, which is the newest version. And apart from programming the robotics or even supporting the simple graphical programming like Scratch on the sprites, it also supports building games or animation that can be controlled by hardware, or coding with AI and IoT, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. It also supports Python, where it was earlier supporting only the C programming. Now it also supports Python programming. So a quick look at how mBlock5 has emerged as updated or enhanced version of the previous mBlock3 software. mBlock3 was based on Scratch version 2, whereas mBlock5 is based on Scratch version 3, and this is backward compatible. It means it also supports with the files created by mBlock3. The storage, which was earlier only local to the computer, now it has also gone to the cloud. The programming language support, graphical, and we could actually see the equivalent C program is now extended to C as well as with Python. The supported devices, which includes the mBot and mBot Ranger, which is nothing but the robots coming from mBlock, the company, as well as the Arduino variants. This has been extended apart from these devices, which was earlier supported by mBlock3. The support has been extended to Python-based systems, like for example, the Hello Code or Microbit, and other programmable electronics, which comes from mBlock. It's called Neuron, Motion Block, and also the Bluetooth controller that can be used to control a robot. There has been a significant improvement in the UI. Earlier, the sprite and the devices or the hardware which could be controlled by mBlock software was mixed. It was all under one tab. Now that has been separated because there was a lot of confusion that if all the programming blocks are available to sprite or device, that was not distinguishable. Now, based on the sprite or device selected, the programming blocks are shown. There is a live and upload mode. It means programs can run directly in real time with the devices, hardware, as well as you can download the code on the hardware and then use that as offline. So block programs can also be exported as image, and this is very useful when you are trying to create a tutorial or you want to save the program as an image. And also the mBlock5 includes example projects or the tutorials, which was not earlier part of mBlock3 tool. Most important one are the additional features: artificial intelligence, data visualization, IoT, and support to Google Classroom. So we'll have a look at these features as part of the demonstration. So let's have a live demonstration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip to the tool. So are you able to see the tool now?
Yes.
So this is the mBlock5 tool, and as if you have already used Scratch, you would see the resemblance with Scratch in terms of the layout. Here is the sprite, which can be moved anywhere the way we do it on Scratch. Then we have the programming blocks available here, the library of blocks. Similar to Scratch, we can add extensions. If I click on add extension, you can see the extensions which are available as cognitive services, the machine learning part, data chart, pen, music, and a hell lot of this, including the Google Sheets, support to different devices, Makey, text-to-speech, data structures. So how to create a simple program? I'm pretty sure that you would have been familiar with Scratch programming. So for example, if I want to move the panda, all I need is these blocks. So for example, this block will actually cause panda to move by 10 steps. I can double click and make the sprite move. Or I can also go for event where I say that do this only when I press the green flag. So this is the sprite area. You have the list of devices and sprites and the backgrounds. So sprite and backgrounds are very similar to the Scratch, but device is something which is being separated from sprite, which makes it very intuitive in terms of programming. So based on the device selected, the corresponding graphical blocks will be made available for programming. We can add different types of devices. You can see the Kodi, it's again a robot from mBlock. Neuron is programmable electronic blocks. mBot and mBot Ranger are again the robot from mBlock. Then we have support for Arduino, microbit, the Bluetooth controller, motion block, hello code, and many more, as you can see here, including the Tello drone. So for example, if I want to use a program for, and that I want to work with the sprites only, I can go to Sprite tab, and then I can create a program here the way I have created here. For example, if I want to give you a demonstration, so this is a simple program, and what happens here is when I click the green flag, this panda, which will try to catch this bird, and this guy is going to cheer up for the panda.
Hey panda, catch that bird. Go. 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 You got it.
So as you could see, we can create programs which will use sprites, and we can actually narrate a story. You can create games or animations and stories that can be used as a teaching tool in the classroom. So not only programming, the teaching programming, but also can be used to narrate a story and introduce a topic in the classroom. I'm going to demonstrate, next one is working with the devices. So I have with me is Arduino board, and I'm going to use a very basic sketch, which is the blink. So I can connect this. So this is a simple blink sketch, and I can connect to the hardware first. So if I click on the connect, it shows me the COM port where it is available, and then I'm going to connect it. And I can now upload the program. So if I click on upload here, so as you can see, the program has been uploaded. It's flashing after every 2 seconds. I can make it faster by making it say every 0.5 seconds. So I change this code here. And now I'm going to upload that. So it should be faster than this flash. And you would notice the flashing rate has increased. Similarly, we can use extensions for AI. So I'm going to demonstrate the AI example. This is a simple program where I want to guess the age of the person sitting next to that. So,
do you want me to guess your age? Say yes or no.
yes.
Okay, I will tell your age. I think you are 42 years old. Do you want me to guess your age? Say yes or no.
No.
You didn't want it. but I will still tell your age. Oh my Lanta, you are 42 years old. Do you want me to guess your age? Say yes or no.
Stop.
Bye-bye.
So this was a very simple example where what we did was we used the artificial intelligence extension and recognized the speech, as well as we used the people's age finder or the age recognition tool. And we were able to actually create a simple program where the interaction also happens through audio. It also supports data visualization. For example, if I want to use and I'm going to show you. So what I have done here is I have created a program where I'm going to write to a Google Sheet, which is already open and shared. And I'm going to write to the cell of this Google Sheet, what you can see here. And this is a chart which is going to pick up the X and Y location sent by the tool, mBlock tool, and it is going to plot with the red dot what is the XY location. And I'm changing the XY location by dragging this sprite. So if I just click the green flag so that the program runs. Hang on, I think. Yeah, so if I drag the panda, it actually reads the X and Y location of the panda and then writes it to the X and Y column, the first A and B column here, 42 and 55. That's the same location, 42 and 55 here. So whenever I make changes to the panda location by dragging it, it actually sends the XY location, and that is getting plotted in real time on the Google Sheet. So think about this in a way that instead of using sprite location here, it could be data from the sensor, or it could be, say, location of a robot which is moving, the speed. So those kind of data can be visualized on the and recorded as well on Google Sheet. So this is a great tool for data logging as well as data visualization over cloud. In terms of support to Google Classroom, it also provides the support. For example, but before that, I just wanted to also let you know that whenever you create a program, you can always look at the equivalent Python code, or when you're working with, say, Arduino, you can always look at the equivalent C code here. So this is a good tool where you are creating program if you're not very familiar with a script-based language initially, and then you create programs using graphical blocks, but the equivalent code is available for you right there. So that way it helps the students learn the programming very fast, and they can, once they become proficient, they can directly go with writing Python or Arduino C programming directly here instead of using graphical programming language. To show the demonstration of Google Classroom, what I've done is I have logged into Google Classroom, and I have created a classroom which is called mBlock test. Now, this tool also allows you to create a login or profile, so you can create your profile, and You can also use your Gmail ID to create a profile here. That's what I have done. So I have the same Gmail ID used here for profile on mBlock5 as well as on Google Classroom. Once you have that, if you click on File and then Share To, so you can create a program, whichever program you want to create, and then if you want to share that program over Google Classroom with your students, you can say click Share To. And then it gives you a link to Google Classroom. So if I click on this, it takes me to the, I'm just clicking the link here because it was not possible to see otherwise. And then it asks you to share with the classroom. You can choose a class, so say mBlock test, and what kind of action you want. You can create assignment or ask a quick question on that code, or you can also make an announcement. So for example, if I say create assignment and I say go, you can also provide additional instruction, but this is how the link goes to the classroom, and the students can directly click on the link and they will be guided to the online version of the same mBlock5 tool. So the tool is available as offline as well as online, and you can see there's the same tool or same code is made available to you or your students through the Google Classroom. I'm going back to the presentation now. And if you just want to have a comparison of Scratch and mBlock5, they do support sort of similar kind of hardware, whereas Scratch is quite popular for Lego, Microbit, Vernier, and Makey. mBlock5 goes with the Arduino Microbit and many more third-party hardware, along with the mBlock, the proprietary robots of the hardware. The hardware programming, Scratch supports simple programming, whereas you can do complex programming with mBlock5. It supports both online and offline mode. So you can create program and interact with the hardware in real time, or you can also upload the program to the hardware and make it a standalone pre-programmed hardware as well. There are a bunch of advanced features, for example, the AI, IoT, and data visualization, which is not available with Scratch. Scratch doesn't support Arduino C and Python, whereas mBlock5 does. Both of them are open source, while this is entirely dependent on the Scratch-based software. mBlock5 also allows third-party device or extension creation. So if you use the mBlock SDK, you can create a new device or you can create a new extension which is available to people to use for programming. And in terms of platform support, they are pretty much the same, except the mBlock5 is also available on Linux. So just to summarize, there has been a significant improvement over mBlock5 compared to previous version, mBlock3, both as well as on the UI front as well as on the functionality. And mBlock is a versatile tool which can support multiple devices, multiple hardware, and it can also allow you to have programming in multiple languages, C and Python. So that way it is a perfect tool to be used in the classroom where we want to teach students programmable electronics and C programming or Python programming. In the COVID situation, we have been organizing multiple webinars, and mBlock5 is the current one, and we also have Arduino educational content, which is basically ready for the classroom, and some of them do not even require programming. So we have that webinar tomorrow, scheduled tomorrow, and you can use this link as well as a coupon code, which is Mechatronics052020, and that will make the webinar free for you. I would strongly encourage you to attend the webinar, as well as feel free to share it with other colleagues or educators who would be interested in this. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, and it's all about range of educational products from Arduino, right from the middle school to high school and up to university. We also provide online PD, which is on demand. So that will include the lesson plans, then the curriculum mapped courses, and definitely it will have the breaks and the lunch, which would have been otherwise part of a face-to-face training. And to make sure that it is very effective, we have limited the seats to 5 to 7 teachers. So if you are interested, do let us know. And as I mentioned, we also provide the online DIY training or the custom support for your virtual class. So please get in touch with me or Pathik, and we should do the needful.